Imagine this. You worked so hard throughout high school, stayed up late studying, balanced extracurriculars, and now you're staring at your future. You want to go to college, chase your dreams, and build a stable life. But then reality hits. Tuition is sky high, student loans are crushing, and what seemed like an exciting new chapter becomes a financial nightmare. Now imagine a world where college is free. Every student, regardless of their family's income, has the opportunity to pursue higher education without worrying about debt. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a necessary change that could transform America for the better. Government-funded college should be the standard across America. Even if it results in higher taxes, education strengthens society by creating a skilled workforce in critical fields like healthcare, technology, and engineering. When people earn degrees, they qualify for higher-paying jobs, fueling economic growth and innovation. A well-educated workforce leads to stronger industries, better infrastructure, and advancements that improve the standard of living for everyone. Investing in education means investing in long-term prosperity. Today, low-income students are forced to choose between massive debt or skipping college entirely. Publicly funded education will remove financial barriers, ensuring all students have a fair shot at success. When education is accessible, the cycle of poverty weakens, and upward mobility becomes possible for more people. By leveling the playing field, we empower talented students who might otherwise abandon their aspirations due to cost. Talent, not financial success, should determine opportunity. Free college wouldn't just help students. It would benefit businesses, communities, and the government. Higher wages lead to increased tax revenue, strengthening public services and infrastructure. Instead of burdening young people with debt, we should invest in their education upfront and see long-term results through a thriving economy. Financial security allows graduates to become homeowners, business owners, and innovators, creating a ripple effect that boosts various sectors. Free college transforms individual lives and entire communities. The future of America depends on ensuring education is accessible for all. Free college isn't just about affordability. It's about fairness and opportunity. If we want a thriving workforce, a strong economy, and a system where success isn't determined by wealth, publicly funded college must become the standard. Let's build a future where financial barriers don't dictate success, where every student can pursue their dreams without the fear of lifelong debt. Because when we invest in education, we invest in a stronger, more prosperous society for generations to come. Thank you.
There's this weird phenomenon in psychology, and once you notice it, you see it everywhere. It's called value perception. We don't judge things by what they are, we judge them by what it took to get them. Not because we're shallow, because our brains are wired that way. It's how we make sense of the world. If something requires thought, time, money, commitment, we treat it like it matters. Not because someone told us to, but because we felt it. That's what makes college powerful. Not just the classes or the textbooks or the lectures, but the fact that people made real choices to be there. Sacrifices, trade-offs, late nights, financial planning. It's not just a path you wander into. It's something you decide on. So what happens when you take all that away? What happens when college becomes automatic? No cost, no questions, no hesitation, just expected. You haven't made it more meaningful. You've made it harder to care about. This isn't hypothetical. We've all seen it. Job listings that expect a college degree, even for entry-level roles. The degree has become so common, it's almost invisible. It's used to open doors. Now it barely gets you through them. If we make college free, that effect doesn't disappear, it increases. Because when everyone has something, it no longer stands out. It no longer reflects a conscious decision. It's just a default setting. College should not be free. Not because we don't deserve education, but because they do. Because something this valuable shouldn't feel this disposable. Because when you make something easy to get, people stop remembering why it matters in the first place. If you've ever noticed how people treat things they get for free, whether it's a free sample at a store or a giveaway online, it's often the case that we don't even think twice about them. We take them for granted. There's no mental note of, I worked for this, because no effort was required. It's just there, so we toss it aside or forget about it, or move on without thinking of its value. Have you ever been to a party where you get a free t-shirt and by the end of the night it's crumpled up somewhere, unused? But if you bought a shirt for yourself, maybe you'd wear it proudly because you worked for it, saved for it, or chose it. It's the same t-shirt, but the value comes from the meaning you attach to it. This is how psychology works. Our minds connect value to effort. The more effort we put into something, the more we respect it, the more it stays with us. College degrees are the same. They are earned. They represent long nights of studying, real decision-making, and hard-earned accomplishment. If you take away that effort, it becomes automatic. Then we stop seeing it as valuable, just like the t-shirt at the party. When everyone has something, it doesn't stand out. If we make college free, the value of that degree decreases, not because of the information or the experience isn't valuable, but because it no longer means anything in the same way. And that's not just a personal loss, that's a loss for employees, for society, and for the very concept of education itself.
Economic health in a nation is closely tied to education. Research has suggested that more highly educated nations would have up to 70% higher economic rates of growth over the long term. That is not just a number, that is a factor that highly correlates with suggesting spending money on education is an economic investment. Let's begin with a fundamental concept. An educated workforce propels innovation and productivity. The more individuals are able to access higher education, the more specialized skills required for high-demand occupations are obtained in industries such as technology, healthcare, and engineering. As the University of the People points out, free college fosters analytical and creative thinking, leading to a more flexible and innovative workforce. This increases problem-solving capacity, quality of goods and services, and overall economic output. The economic benefits reach beyond individuals. An educated workforce means higher incomes, more consumer spending, and more tax dollars received, benefiting the economy overall. Dillett emphasizes the importance of academic programs aligning with labor market needs so graduates have relevant skills that meet industry needs. The alignment increases public trust and causes businesses to invest in hiring highly educated professionals. However, opponents alert that government intervention in higher education can yield inefficiencies, cost inflation, and student loan bubbles. Federal intervention, caution goes, could fiddle with market forces, dislodging the incentive for universities to improve the quality of education. In spite of all these concerns, publicly financed education has solutions, reducing reliance on student loans, providing equal access, and closing the wealth gap. A second concern is credential inflation, where diplomas lose their value as more people receive them. People are also concerned that students' efforts would decline if college is free. These would be manageable, however, by highlighting vocational training, experiential learning, experiences, and maintaining high academic standards to be held accountable, suggested by the daily economy. Tight integration between education and labor market demand maintains motivation as well as quality. Free college is not just a cost, it's an investment. The benefits far outweigh the challenges, stimulating economic growth, lower unemployment, more innovation, and more just society. By expanding access to higher education, nations can develop an educated, inclusive workforce that supports long-term success. Thank you.
When the argument for free college comes up, it sounds good just from the topic title. Many would think the quality of college will give people a chance to succeed, or free college gives people a better opportunity because of the decrease in debt. Now, these all seem like good reasons until you dig deeper. First off, I would like to show a point made from collegeraptor.com. They state that some students directly state that the realization of how much they or their family is willing to pay drives them to perform well in college and actually attend college. In other words, it states that solely off of how much they are putting into college actually ignites the flame in them to complete college in full. So does that mean if college were to be free, they wouldn't be as dedicated as they would be prior? I think so. Moving on to my second point, the college education would deteriorate over time because of the incredibly large number of students that would be enrolled. Since the colleges wouldn't be funded as much, schools could find it harder to offer the great education that they had before. Not only would the education value decrease, but things like salaries for faculty and staff could dip. giving the staff and faculty a reason to quit and find something that could satisfy their lively expenses. Furthermore, free college makes degrees decrease drastically in a lot of ways. One of the ways is distinction. Say that you wanted to get a job that was in the technology-related job cluster, the highest growing job cluster as of now. Actually getting the job would be immensely difficult. Employers would pretty much look over others, if not you exactly, because of the number of people that have the same education as you. The job market would be completely flooded, making degrees a sort of casual or normal thing to see on a resume, maybe even setting a higher bar for education for a job in the future of a free college world.
Colleges serve as powerful agents of social mobility, offering individuals a gateway to better career opportunities, financial security, and personal growth. Yet for many economically disadvantaged students, steep tuition costs and student loans act as insurmountable barriers. The very institution meant to provide opportunity often weighs students down with long-term debt, forcing them to question whether higher education is worth the financial struggle. Publicly funded college will remove these obstacles, allowing talented individuals who would otherwise be shut out to develop their skills and contribute meaningfully to our economy. If we truly believe in equal opportunity, then affordability in education must be prioritized. Higher education should be a right, not a privilege determined by one's financial background. According to Pew Research, 32% of graduates question whether college was worth the cost due to student loans. The statistic underscores a troubling reality. Education should empower individuals, not leave them financially drained for decades. Imagine how much more talent could be nurtured if financial concerns weren't the primary deterrent. Free college would allow students to focus on learning rather than debt, increasing graduation rates and future salaries. Financial strain forces many students to abandon their degrees before competition, limiting their career prospects and reducing the overall skill level of our workforce. By removing these financial burdens, we could boost graduation rates and develop a workforce filled with skilled professionals who drive innovation and economic growth. Beyond the economic benefits, publicly funded education promotes inclusivity and diversity in the labor force. While individuals with associate degrees and specialized certificates have seen salary increases, financial disparities persist. Low-income students often struggle to access quality education due to systematic financial barriers, reinforcing the cycle of poverty. By funding higher education, we can close this gap, ensuring that all students, regardless of their socioeconomic background, have the same opportunities to succeed. Free college would cultivate a workforce that better reflects the diverse talent within our society. When education is accessible, upward mobility becomes achievable, benefiting not just individuals, but the entire community. Of course, great access comes with challenges. As the daily economy cautions, eliminating tuition could overwhelm universities, leading to increased competition and strained resources. If demand skyrockets, institutions may struggle to maintain quality education. The solution lies in strategic investment. Expanding campuses, hiring more professionals, and integrating alternative learning methods, such as apprenticeships and online courses. As the daily economy notes, competition among colleges can fuel innovation, ensuring that institutions continue to deliver excellent education despite tuition-free policies. By embracing adaptability and forward-thinking policies, we can ensure quality and accessibility coexist. Free college is not just about affordability, it's about fairness, opportunity, and long-term prosperity. By reducing inequality, fostering social mobility, and enabling students to achieve financial security, public funding has the power to reshape education for the better. However, this shift requires thoughtful planning to ensure that education remains both accessible and high quality. Investing in education means investing in our collective future. It strengthens the economy, enriches the workforce, and empowers individuals to reach their full potential. The question isn't whether free college is possible, it's whether we are ready to commit the necessary changes to build a system rooted in equity, exclusivity, and opportunity. Thank you.
What would change if everyone in this room woke up with a degree in their hand? Nothing. And here's why. If everyone has something, it stops meaning anything. If every single person you meet has a college degree, the degree isn't an advantage anymore. You don't notice it, you don't respect it, and no employer is going to be impressed by it because it's something everyone has. The core problem with offering free college is that it's not truly free. Sure, students might not have to pay tuition directly, but the cost has to be covered somehow. Someone, somewhere, will bear the financial burden. In this case, it's the taxpayers. In many ways, free college means shifting the cost from the students to the general public. And that's a huge financial burden. Right now, colleges rely on tuition fees, and these fees go towards things like faculty salaries, research, campus involvements, and student services. When you take away that primary source of funding, someone else has to foot the bill. The government would have to pick up the tab, which means higher taxes, and those taxes wouldn't just fall on students attending college, they'd fall on everyone. People who didn't go to college, people who are struggling financially, and people who don't have the resources to contribute to higher education. All end up covering this free education for others. This isn't just a financial shift, it's a potential change in the public views and the values of higher education. Moreover, the long-term sustainability of free college system is questionable. College tuition keeps rising, and with more students going to school, the need for funding grows exponentially. If this free system is supported by taxpayers' money, there's a significant risk of tax increases for everyone. Taxes may be raised to support not just tuition costs, but also research programs and administration costs that are associated with running colleges and universities. And with that, we might see cuts in other crucial services and other crucial services, healthcare, and social programs, just to maintain a free college system. But here's the kicker. The free nature of college doesn't solve the core issue, which is accessibility and affordability. By making college free, we aren't addressing the systematic problems in the education system. Instead, we are shifting the burden to someone else and ignoring the broader financial issues that drive up tuition costs in the first place. It's a temporary fix at best, but it won't solve the root problem for higher education funding. Ultimately, making college free is a way of masking the real costs, not eliminating them. We'll all pay in some form, directly or indirectly, and when people don't see the cost, they're less likely to understand or appreciate the true value of what they're getting. Free doesn't always mean better, it just means someone else is paying the price.
To rebut, public funding ensures access for low-income students, promotes equality. The problem isn't access, it's affordability and targeted support. Making college free for everyone, including wealthy students, is inefficient. A better solution is increasing scholarships, need-based grants, and improving community colleges. Also, not everyone needs to go to college. Many high-paying essential jobs are in trades or apprenticeships. Pouring money into free college ignores these paths and pushes a one-size-fits-all model that can actually widen inequality by neglecting alternative careers.
Think about the things that hold value in our lives. Love, friendship, knowledge, personal growth. Do we treasure these because they are expensive? Not really. The deepest bonds and most profound experiences are often free, yet they shape us the most. Now imagine college being free. Does that mean students would stop caring? Probably not. People value education because of what it gives them. Opportunity, skills, confidence, not just because it comes with a price tag. In fact, removing financial barriers could allow students to focus more on learning instead of stressing about debt. If anything, it makes the experience more meaningful, more about passion and personal drive rather than privilege or affordability. On another note, while public funding requires upfront investment, it pays for itself over time. Higher earning graduates contribute more in taxes, drive consumer spending, and strengthen the workforce, ultimately boosting economic prosperity. The return on investment outweighs the cost. On another subject that degrees will lose their value, the job market is shifting towards skills-based employment.
They mentioned that higher earning graduates graduates contribute in more taxes and offsetting costs. However, this assumes all graduates earn significantly more, which isn't always the case. Many degrees don't lead to high-paying jobs, and it can take decades before tax contributions balance out in cost. In the meantime, the government takes on massive debt, diverting resources from K-12 education or healthcare. There's also no guarantee that graduates stay in the country to repay the investment. So the return on investment is not as reliable or immediate as claimed.
Concerns about free college are understandable, but they don't outweigh the benefits. First, while free college isn't truly free, it's an investment with long-term results. A highly educated workforce boosts industries, raises wages, as well as tax revenue, in turn helping the economy grow. Second, the idea that free tuition reduces innovation ignores how schools compete in research, academic ranking, and student success. Many countries with publicly funded education still have world-class universities because they prioritize performance over profits. Finally, students who suddenly stop valuing education just because students won't stop suddenly valuing education just because it's tuition-free. Scholarships and tuition-free programs already exist, and recipients work hard because they see education as a path to success, not just a financial transaction. Free college isn't a handout. It's a strategic investment in a stronger future. Thank you.
Me and my partner have laid out a clear and compelling case for why publicly funded higher education is not just beneficial, it's essential. This is not merely about individuals earning degrees, it's about building a stronger, more prosperous society for generations to come. Education is one of the best investments that we can make. It inspires innovation, constructs productivity, and drives economic growth. From medicine to engineering, from education to scientific research, we rely on highly skilled professionals to keep our world pushing ahead. Without government help, however, these professions risk being understaffed, overworked, and out of the reach of bright minds who simply cannot pay the growing price of higher education. Think about the hundreds of millions of bright, capable individuals who are restrained not by lack of capacity or will, but by expense. A society that values wealth above talent is a system that holds back potential, bars social mobility, and widens economic disparities. Must economic constraints be what determines whether an individual is a physician, a scientist, or a teacher? Or do we establish a system where talent, diligence, and passion decide one's destiny? And now let's discuss one of the biggest worries, the cost to taxpayers. Opponents claim that free college is an expensive drain, but that ignores a hidden truth. Higher earning graduates contribute more to the economy, they bring more tax money in, create more consumer purchasing power, and help ensure long-term economic stability. That's not just short-term expense, it is a payment that rewards itself many times over in economic growth and a better educated, more competitive workforce. This is not a personal accomplishment, it's the future of our nation. Education shouldn't be a privilege for some. It needs to be a right accessible to whoever wishes for knowledge, growth, and prospects. So let's make a decision. Let's make a decision of a system that lifts each generation up so that merit and effort, not money, will determine success. Let's invest in education, let's invest in our future, and let's invest in a better, more equitable society.
Okay. Colleges having free education require significant funding. We know that now. But regardless of anything said, we can all agree that it would be a lot of money on everyone who would be paying for it. It's not just the funding of college that they would have to pay through taxes. It would be added onto the normal taxes and expenses that you would have to pay, like individual income and groceries. To pay for all of the colleges around the world, it would mean higher taxes or cuts to the other public services, like numerous homeless shelters, social services, environmental protection, transportation, and even public educational services. Following this up, these resources would most definitely be wasted at a certain point. Students would be in college just because of their parents or because they need someplace to go, but don't take it seriously whatsoever. Free college also makes over-enrollment a higher chance of happening. Over-enrolling causes a lot of issues like having students in one room that do not want to achieve goals. It enables reduced access to resources and potential financial strain and poorer education quality. What school can maintain students over the capacity and have bad education? The answer is none. All of these reasons are just from the statement, college shouldn't be free by public funding. There are many other types of arguments that can fall under that, which tears out a lot of the affirmative arguments, like how the taxes have caused a loss of jobs and houses. The arguments that we have shared has proven that free college increases more strain on the people who are funding and the schools themselves, more than helping students get education and knowledge for the future. Thank you.